Welcome to How's It Doing Garage. You ain't noticed today, we're going to be working on my 06 Chevrolet Duramax. So stay tuned. So like I said, today we're going to be working on my 06 Duramax. We bought a new turbo for it, which you've seen the video. So a little background on the truck. I bought the truck in 2014. It was like the first vehicle I ever owned that a bank lent me money on. It had 140,000 miles on it. We bought it out of Tulsa, Oklahoma. I looked for months and months and months and months and months trying to find a two-wheel drive Duramax dually, because some reason I just wanted a two-wheel drive. I didn't see a point in the four-wheel drive, you know, and the added expense of that. But we finally found one at a car dealership in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and I bought it over the phone. Me and Anna rented a rental car and drove to Tulsa, picked it up, drove all the way back home. Yeah, so I've owned it since 2014. I put about 100,000 miles on it. I used to daily it. Not the best thing to do to a diesel truck is daily it. I love diesel trucks. I would hate to have to go back to towing with a gas truck. We have the Suburban, you know, and it's got, you know, a small block in it, which it barely moves itself. But when you hook a trailer behind it, I mean, it's just ugh. But like, owning a diesel truck is super just expensive. Just roll the window down and just chuck hundreds out the windows, especially if you're daily driving it. You know, I take really good care of this truck. You know, contrary to the look of the truck, I take good care of it. I use, you know, Schaefer's oil, good filters, you know, blah blah blah. So it gets expensive. Like, oil change on this is like $140. So, and I change the oil every 5,000 miles. So yeah, I mean, just, you know. But anyway, so some of the stuff I've done to the truck. Let me open the hood here. Not really much going on in here. Don't make fun of me because of my air filter. I don't know why it always looks like that. I can put a new filter on, and about 20 minutes later it looks like that. That filter's only been on there for about 10,000 miles, so it's really new. But as you can tell, we've painted the front and put a billet Chevy emblem on there. I do have a light bar behind the grill. Got some aftermarket LED head fog lights. This truck didn't have fog lights on it. You know, I've updated the headlights. You know, I did get in an accident with it. I got rear-ended by a semi-truck in it one day, and he pushed me into the truck in front of me and wiped the front off of it, wiped the back out of it, and yeah, so it has been in an accident before. But as far as upgrades, we have a PPE transmission cooler. I've got a Banks intercooler in it. We've got an SDP intake kit on it with the SDP 2-piece Y-bridge, powder-coated Illusion sour apple. We've got an S&B intake on it. I've got basically every single thing that PPE sells for a Duramax on this truck. We've got their manifolds, their up pipes, their down pipe, transmission cooler, like I said. I've even got their stinking billet oil filler cap, you know. So I've got a lot. We've got a CTS2 monitor, you know, EGT probes, everything. Basically what I do with this truck is I tow. And I don't tow a ton of weight, but when I'm towing, I'm going. So I got a 10,000 pound enclosed trailer we'll take to shows. My buddy Wesley's got a 2-car gooseneck. We'll take that to shows, which isn't a ton of weight for this truck. You know, like 10 to 14,000 pounds. It's not a ton of weight. It is weight, but it's not like a ton. But when I hook the trailer up this thing and we're going to a show, you know, obviously I'm a busy guy. My friends are busy, so we only got so much time. So we got to get there, and, you know, do her thing, and then we got to get back. So, I mean, I'm hauling 80 mile an hour, 85 mile an hour. Like, we're hauling. So, I put the stuff on the truck so we can haul that kind of weight and not worry about, you know, temps, you know. So, I've put a PPE oil pan on it, PPE deep transmission pan. We've got a Banks diff cover, you know, with the fins and all that stuff. And we've done a lot of stuff to this truck to just get it to tow super well. And it does tow good. It's always towed really good. It's way better at towing than any gas truck I've ever had, obviously. But one thing is, after the years have gone by and the mileage has gone up, it's slowly dipping off on the boost. So we have another engine for the truck that we bought out of a super high mileage LBZ Duramax, and we're going to take that engine, and then over the time I'm going to rebuild it, because rebuilding a Duramax engine is ridiculously expensive. So we're going to rebuild that engine, and then sometime in the future we're going to put it in this truck, along with, we're going to repaint it. It's got a little rust on the rockers. I used to live in Michigan, so it happens. But yeah, so excuse me. What we're going to do is basically we're going to change the turbo today. I've already put PPE up pipes on it fairly recently, so the up pipes aren't going to be a huge issue to take off, hopefully. If you ever worked on a Duramax, getting the up pipes off the back of the turbo is just like, you know, not cool. But, so, yeah. I guess basically what we're going to get started with is taking the turbo mouthpiece off, obviously taking the hot side boost pipe off, and I'm probably going to honestly go grab a dang fan and put a fan on it, since I just drove this thing over the shop. It's pretty hot, and I don't feel like sticking my digits down in there. But hopefully we don't have to remove any of the Y bridge or anything. I don't see why we'd have to do that, but yeah. So you gotta stick your hands behind the turbo and unbolt all the stuff behind the turbo without even seeing what you're doing. It kind of sucks, but what are you gonna do? So I'm gonna get a fan, get it blown on here, let this thing cool down, and then we're gonna get to work.
There she is. Oh, we get to play with that thing? Look, I tell you what, I'll get up on that and help you out with that, but as soon as I lay down, I'm gonna be asleep on top of this motor. You'd be like, nap time for Wesley. Woo! Oh, listen, it's a plane. Stop playing, Wesley. Sorry.
You gonna hold that?
Yeah.
You gonna hold that?
The whole time? Ooh, man. Oh, I thought this was plastic. It's not. What is it?
What?
Yeah.
It's plastic. Goofball.
Oh.
Goofball Wesley. Hi. So, I got the intake taken off. Unhooked my crankcase vent. Now I'm going to take this tube off for the hot side charge pipe. And then I'm going to take the down pipe off the back. And, yeah. The bolts for the turbo are like way down in here. Kind of going to be interested to see how I'm going to get those out. But anyways, I'm sure we'll figure it out. Alright, so I've got all the up pipes off. And now I just need to get the turbo unbolted
and it should come out. And I had it probably a little too small of a socket. Hey, could be a magnet that's on it. Okay, so I've got everything's unhooked from the turbo, and it's ready to come out, I think. So, actually, I think I've got one more thing. This stinking turbo weighs a zillion pounds. Oh, crap. So now that we got the old turbo out, there's a couple things off the old turbo that you're going to need to reuse. Like these coolant lines you're going to reuse. You can reuse your oil drain if you want. But I figured since you can't get to this once the turbo's in, so if something happens to this, you have to take the whole turbo back out to fix it. So I just bought a new one. So I'm going to take these coolant lines off, we'll reuse these, and we'll put them on, clean them up, put them on the new unit, and then we'll get the new unit up here and prep it to go back in. I guess we'll need the rest of this monstrosity. I broke 2 bolts off getting these out. Wonk, wonk, wonk. Oh god, it's so heavy. First thing we'll do is put the new drain tube on. Boop. It's just a couple bolts and a gasket.
Should note that you could not get it from the same place you got your turbo from.
Yeah.
We had to order it from O'Reilly's.
Yeah, like they say on the internet that this bellow right here, if you move it too much, it'll crack after it gets old. So I was like, I mean, it's like 80 bucks. I'll pay 80 bucks now that I have to take this turbo back out again, so.
You sure? You had so much fun.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? Anti-seize.
good as new.
Should have just bought a new one of these too, but let's see if you can think about it. You can get to these though, so it's not a big deal. There's nothing. So right now I'm just tightening up putting the bolts on and tightening up the drain for the turbo, which conveniently you can't see. I'm gonna go get the bolts for the turbo pedestal. Put those in. Yeah. The anti-seize these bolts over on the table.
Well, I know I haven't been here all day, but I feel like the swearing's been okay.
Oh.
I only saw one tool go flying. Poor little magnet.
Alright guys, so I'm done. As you can tell from my hair, this is a super suck job. I strongly encourage you to pay somebody to do this if you have a Duramax. Work some overtime, I don't know, have a yard sale, something. Just don't. Anyway, Jeremy's here. Darren's here. Heather, Boyd. Don't eat the lemon Lay's potato chips, apparently. They do not taste like key lime pie, as if they would. Anyway, so it's all in. We've got the new oil feed. Comes from, like, it was valley fed, so now it's actually coming from just after the oil filter, so it gets a cold, clean oil. The down pipe and up pipes are all hooked up. I did new gaskets, new hardware. New vane position sensor, which it's like 50-50 on if they have to be tuned, so or calibrated. I'm hoping it doesn't have to be calibrated, but you know, YOLO. So anyway, we're gonna start it up, see if there's any leaks, and yeah, probably take it for a little drive, see how much better it drives. Yeah. So here, Jeremy, you take this.
I gotcha.
Yep.
Take the light off.
What?
No, not yet.
Take that, boy.
good on the gauges?
No check engine light yet, so. You let it warm up for like 10 minutes. It says let it warm up for 10 minutes before you drive it. So let it warm up and then go take it for a test drive.
Oh my god. That's so funny how loud it is. We're gonna see if we cannot get pulled over in this.
Man, it's hard to believe that it's 8:30 at night on a Sunday. Alright guys, so we just got back from test drive. It's running great. It's a little whistly, which I mean it's a giant turbo, so it's going to be a little whistly. So it sounds good. It's making good power. Yeah, so far so good. I'm pretty happy. We'll do a future update of me towing with it, see how the EGTs are and stuff like that. But it's definitely a huge improvement over the stock unit, especially since how the stock one was quite wore out. So yeah, plus I mean it don't look half bad down in there all green. So yeah, I think the next thing I'm gonna do for this old turd is I think I mentioned we bought another truck that's got, I mean it's a good running motor in it, but we're gonna rebuild that on the side. You know, it's a gazillion dollars, so we're gonna do it on the side. And then I think I'm gonna buy the matching air intake for it, so it all kind of matches. But so that's gonna do it for this episode of How's It Doing Garage. Appreciate you stopping in, checking it out. Throw us a comment what you think about my new Dan's Diesel Performance 64mm turbo on my 06 Duramax. And we'll see you guys on the next video.